Welcome to Isis in the Bible, the Spring Gathering, Week 2, Omen. The question for today is, are you in sync with your synchronicities? Does anybody really know what time it is? Is it time to stop? Wait a minute, Mr. Postman. Look around. What do you see? Mother Nature is speaking to you like never before. Please share with us what amazing signs you are seeing. Glad you could join us today. We went around the room and we got some interesting discussions, and some of us are seeing lots, some of us are thinking that we need to see more, and maybe we need just to tune in because it's amazing what you see when you still the mind and look at what Mother Nature is trying to tell us. Is it coming from within and matching from without? All those good stories. All right, just quickly, what's happening in the sky? Well, right today, Icarus is meeting with Hygeia. Icarus is the boy who burned his wings. So people's wings are being cleansed because that's what Hygeia does. She's a goddess of cleanses. And then just a reminder that also to do with wings, Altair, Pluto, God the Father, regeneration, your higher self, rebirths. Pluto is aligned with star Altair, and Altair is the eagle or the hawk. And I'll speak about this because there was a beautiful sign that we received, the synchronicity, really awesome sign. So we'll talk about that in a minute. And to let everybody know that on May the 14th, the sun, you moved into Taurus, and Taurus is the bull. And what does the bull do? The bull goes into the china shop and goes in and straightens the kids out that aren't doing well, right? That's what the bull does. And if you can remember, the bull is in front of the stock market. So, and we do know that there's a lot of things happening today because people get vocal. It's the mother inside of us. Whether you're masculine, feminine, doesn't matter. It's the mother instinct inside of us that wants us to go make change for the loving goodness of this world. So that's what you can expect to see. So like I said, the sun moved into Taurus on May the 14th. And again, Taurus is the earth and mother, and Taurus is the home of Juno, which is Nephthys, which is Mary Magdalene. And we talked about Mary Magdalene last week. So that means you're going to see a lot of women doing some very courageous things. Like we have a meeting tonight, go figure. A lady that lives out in Northern Ontario, she is taking down the fraudulent municipality. And so we're having a meeting tonight to discuss on how are they going to approach that task. The municipalities, most of them around Canada, you're not aware, but they've been doing some lying, stealing, and cheating. So they're going to be a little bit under the microscope, so to speak. So we have an example of Juno, Mary Magdalene, moving in at her home and the sun moving in there, and you're going to see women get vocal in a loving way. And so she is all about love. So she wants to do things in a loving way, but she's got to straighten out some men, because they need some synchronistic signs that they can't do what they've been doing. You'll hear more about it. So don't be surprised when you see people who may look like they're off their rocker, but they're challenging municipalities because they've been dishonest, very dishonest. And this stems all the way back to the 1920s for the earlier cities. All right. I just wanted to share that it's a 5-year anniversary today that we posted on May 15th, 2019, that we're going to be going through a Corona chakra cleanse. Well, people all around the world are going to wonder, what's happening? What's happening to me? So is the 5-year anniversary where we posted on Facebook saying, hey guys, we're all going through a change. And of course, the same municipalities started forcing something called COVID. When we said it was remember, it was first called coronavirus. When we predicted before, think about that, May before 2020, when they announced a coronavirus, we had already said we're going to go through a corona chakra cleanse. In other words, a loving cleanse. And that's showing up in many ways. All right. For those astrologers out there who want to learn something about looking for studying weather phenomena, here's one for you. The dam broke in São Paulo, Rio Grande do Sul. So there a lot of people were left, right? So the cleanse that we're upon is both physical and metaphysical. So it ain't a virus, it's a state of being. So a lot of people are getting tested. So their synchronicities aren't as good as some of us, right? So if you want to look, when a dam breaks, this is the part of fortune. When you do medical astrology, this is when there's divine birthings, when there's in vitro fertilization, when there's births, this part of fortune in astrology is involved, because this is the calculation of the sun, the moon, and what's rising in the east. So when this is there, you can see that this is an Egyptian image, and they carry this image on the Egyptian wall. And if you looked at this whole thing here, this is the birthing scene. So this image that they're carrying in astrology dates all the way back to the Egyptian time, where they knew immaculate conceptions were real. So this has to do with water breaking, and at the exact moment when that water dam broke, you can see that the part of fortune was right overhead, aligned with the midheaven at that time, which is and it was in Taurus, and right across is Pallas, and Pallas is in Scorpio, and Pallas communities. This is communities. So obviously there was a whole lot of communities being affected by the water breaking when the levee breaks. So is it coincidence? No, it's not coincidence. So like Marian said, the inside of us don't really need the outside, but the outside does mimic us. So how we feel is directly related to where our heart's at. So keep your heart centered. You will always be protected. You will always be safe. If you're getting signs, that's time to say, hey, maybe my heart needs to be adjusted somewhere. All right. Okay, let's play a little game, shall we? Is it the moon that eclipses the sun, or is it the black hole? I don't know, all right? I don't know, but when people give evidence, when people give facts, I like to look at them, I like to share them, and then we can make our own decision, right? So is it the moon that eclipses the sun, or is it the black hole of a field, which we shown under a ferrocell, the magnet, and the north and south node of the moon? Well, we showed you last week or the week before that this gentleman here saw this black spot in the sky next to the sun, which is exactly when the north node was there. And this north node is that which eclipses you when it's a snake. So that's why this symbol is carried still in astrology, right? And we went through this saying, okay, well, this aligns exactly with that black spot. So then I saw this person here, and somebody else said this. It was Flat Earth Dave showed this from a different perspective, but I went and grabbed another one. So if the moon was coming across the sun, you would think that it would black out this yellow all the way around, but you see it doesn't, right? This should be blacked out like that. You should not see this glare of the sun in this location, right? I mean, it makes sense. So look at here too. Shouldn't this be blacked out like that and only see the glare around it if that was really the moon that's doing it? And then even when it's exiting, you can see that you can still see some haze. So I don't know, but it's fun to look to see what reality is, because NASA lies to us. And that's another part why the municipalities are going down, because the same people that are doing this deception are, unfortunately, they're going to get their synchronistic signs now. So just thought I'd share that with you, those who are interested in astrology. Okay, I want to share with you I got from different people, including myself. there's a beautiful knowing there that we are one with nature. And if you want to know that you are connected, you may want to download an astrology app. My first choice is TimeNomad and for the iPhone or iPad, and Astrology Master for any other device or computer. Make sure you use Sidereal, Lahiri, Spike at 0 degree Libra, geocentric, 12 equals zodiac, 12 equal houses, house 1 fixed at 0 Aries. Okay, so the moon was aligned overhead. At that time, the cardinal started screaming, like just beautiful, not screaming, but beautiful chirping. So I went and looked, and guess what? The moon was overhead, coming up to my natal moon. And of course, I was going through a stomach cleanse because of this. All right. So omens. What's the definition of an omen? From different meanings here, what is... No. As I was writing this, ducks flew by and quacking. So what is said, an omen is an occurrence or phenomenon perceived as predicting a future event, which can be interpreted as a sign of either impending good fortune or potential uncomfortable wave coming. Omen comes from Latin, in which there is no origin before then. May be related to the alpha, to the omega. So when you look at amen and omen, that would be alpha and omega. I don't know, just saying. Since they don't know its origin, so its true meaning, I just thought I'd throw that out there. All right, here's a really good one. So hugging our niece with her 4 girls as they were down visiting their nana over our house for Mother's Day. Joe, their dad, left the visible in the recent past. So we created this image saying native knowing for the infinite, that's him, with this eagle behind. I give you this one thought to keep. I am still with you. I do not sleep. I am 1,000 winds that blow. I am a diamond that glints on snow. I am the sunlight on ripened grain. I am the gentle autumn rain. When you awaken in the morning's hush, I am the swift uplifting rush of quiet birds in circled flight. I am the soft stars that shine at night. I can be that otter or that fawn. I am still with you in each and every new dawn. Knowing of peace. Another angel in heaven to watch over us all. May all Joel's loved ones find peace in his memories and all the signs he leaves behind every day. So as they were leaving, I looked up to the sky and said, hey, Joe, I know you're watching over us. And right then and there, Sister Laura Rubin texted me saying a giant bald eagle just flew over my car 1 minute ago. And she's from New York. Think about that. So we're saying hi to Joe, and there's with this eagle. So I said, I just looked at the sky and said his name, and then you texted, wow, his wife and kids were just leaving our house. Wow, wow, wow. I have chills to the bone reading this. How cool. So awesome. There's a synchronicity. Spirit's talking to us. We only leave the visible, but we come back. So I just wanted to show you briefly for those like astrology. Kathy had a cleanse. It was a stomach cleanse. And this is when Hygeia was aligned the north node. Okay, Hygeia is the Kundalini. This is the medical caduceus, right? So on that alignment day, she wasn't able to eat. She was dry vomiting. You can see that her south node is with Icarus. She was also getting a Ceres cleanse because, man, she thought she was leaving the visible. That's how ill she was. And of course, the north node, right? North node, Hygeia. Hygeia cleansed her north node, and her stomach collapsed. She couldn't eat, couldn't drink water for 2 days. And then third day, she was able to start sipping some water. So there you go. And exactly at that time, the moon was aligned Vesta. So this is real, folks. It's absolutely real. Another synchronicity with the face of God. You remember this little animation of the glyph of God? You guys remember this one? Where the 609 is the yin and the yang. So the true face of God is everything we witness out in Mother Nature. The yin and the yang. Psalm 82 says, the ruling goddess, ye are all gods. Right. So Dave Carlson sends me the night before At 9:36 p.m., he sends me this about the face of God. Right? This morning, Mary Fran sends me a note saying, "Good morning, Claudio," at 9:36 a.m. But on Sunday, we were singing the song where Angelica was singing the song at Unity, The Face of God. So Dave Carlson sends me the Face of God video that I'm going to show you. Angelica sings the song Face of God, and then this morning I get a text from Mary Fran at 9:36. So wow, it's cool. So I just wanted to play this little video for you.
Time is a construct, right? How is it constructed? Nobody can tell me. So let's use the balls of our eyes and look at phi. Phi is the QR code your brain uses to process proportion. Since we see it on the
sixes and the
biggest
nines
scales to the smallest scales, this must have something to do with it.
The God.
If you're not convinced, whales use this shape to trap fish, and then they eat them. Close your fist. The only way you can do this is because your fingers are the right ratio to close. This thing is also in your arm, and your heart, and your brain. The end of that spiral points directly at the cerebellum. The cerebellum processes spatial awareness, processes motor functions, or the relation of you to other things through time. You will see this ratio and the spiral in almost everything in nature, including the Earth's magnetic field. To prove it, let's look at the magnetic field lines of a sphere. What do you know? It is the golden ratio. If we look at it from the top down, those lines will form harmonics, or how our ears perceive music beautifully. It is widely used in architecture, specifically the most famous, beautiful, and old buildings we have. It is called the golden ratio because on the color spectrum, it spirals into yellow gold. Its proportion and balance are used in some of the greatest works of art that we have, including this guy. On the left, the Fibonacci rectangle splits Vitruvius at the navel, defines his head and his torso. The image on the right is the same ratio using spheres. This is how music works. Keys on the piano are calculated this way, as well as the parts on Vitruvius's body. Let's go even older into ancient traditions. What they're holding there is a pine cone. The pine cone has this spiral and ratio inside of it as well. The deities gift humans with this knowledge to expand their perception of the natural world and how it works through time. Now the spiral makes more sense. Every revolution of that hand spins the spiral 1 hour depending on the planetary gears that are in the watch. Now when you look at a watch, you know what the spring inside of it actually does. But if you have geometrics, you already knew this because this is just a couple pages out of my new book that I just wrote. If you found this fascinating, you can check it out at that link in my bio or
So it was very synchronistic that this whole thing, the face of God being sung, Dave Carlson sending this the night before, and a couple of 936s, right? Both a 6 and 9 in there. So this is the true meaning of God, the face of God. We are that yin and that yang, that 6 and that 9, that both sides of the field. When you look at it from one side or look at it from the other, you'll see both the 6 and the 9. And that's all we have for today.